So this is our year-end issue. It's on menstruation. I bleed for life. It's a very powerful issue we have this month, and I feel the stories have come out really well. And Arshia is going to talk about her story, which is on
folk art and menstruation. And this is actually a very powerful cover, the image as well. I mean, it really closely relates to the kind of story that I've done, which has a lot to do with art, artists, music and everything. And the story that I have worked on essentially talks about how rural voices, voices from the interior of the country have brought forth their opinions through art, and art always gives you an alternate space to speak about things which you otherwise don't get to talk about. And there is so much of taboo, there is so much of stigmatization attached to menstruation, which is absolutely, I mean, if you really look at the basic of menstruation, it's so incredible to even think that something which is so fundamental to even the existence of human life or any form of life on earth, and that has such a huge stigma attached to it that it's almost turned into,
why are we so ashamed of it?
It's almost made to look pornographic after a point of time. But the very amazing bit about the folk arts, at least the ones that I have explored in this article, Folk Arts of India, is that these are artists and these are these are artworks which predate social media. And in a way, social media has kind of empowered us to talk about things which weren't spoken about before, because it's somehow a more democratic space. There is lower entry level barriers. But these are men and women who have taken up the cause, which could even cost them their lives, because we know in the interiors you still have women losing their lives to menstruation, like we saw a couple of months back when Cyclone Gaja hit the shores of Tamil Nadu. This young girl who was menstruating for the first time was sent to an outhouse where a tree fell on her and she died during the cyclones. It still happens, and then there are these people.
And why do we make menstruation feel so dirty? Something that is dirty, stinky, you stay away kind of thing.
The women are made to feel impure. So these artists, the Lavani artists, the Baul singers, and there are these group of women from Rajasthan who came out with a book, a menstruation kind of a journal in the 1980s. So these people took the onus on themselves to make people get educated about menstruation, which obviously is lacking because it's so mired in taboos and stigmatization. So it's just a very fascinating story which I don't want to give out more about, and I would really like you to read about it. But now Lashmi has also spoken about something which is very important, about period leaves, which kind of made it to the headlines in the last couple of months, if you would say about that.
Period leave, basically we've spoken to all kind of people, women and HR people, like what we can do about period leave. Some people have to say that we really don't need the period leave. What you can do is be a little sympathetic. Don't make fun. Oh, it's that time of the year. That is office guys. We have those boys clubs in offices where they make fun of, oh, she's down. Oh, you're having periods. Oh, that time of the month. Don't make it. It's not like that. So basically what we can people have spoken about is that, see, we cannot just give a leave as in leave every month, but what we can do when we talk about a package, we can give more of those sick leaves. So you get more of sick leaves, you take less of those casual leaves, and then another thing that you can do is flexi timing during those days of the month, and flexi timing or work from home. Keep a tab of your productivity. Your manager, I'm sure, if you're working in a media house or something, your editor or whoever sitting at the helm of
to make it more physically comfortable for your female colleagues.
And at the same time, see, this kind of leave is not possible for those people working in those daily wage earners, unorganized sector. So because for them, it is like one day gone is one day's rice and dal gone.
Yeah, absolutely.
Meal gone. So you can just make them pay them. If it's 100 rupees or 50 rupees that lady earns for that day, respect her, pay her that money.
Yeah, I mean, you can't charge women, you can't make them pay for what they're anyway paying.
And there's nothing to be ashamed about. I remember when, as kids also, when we used to get stained
True.
or anything, we used to be so ashamed of, because that is the way we were made to feel.
Yeah, and
You
some
stain,
of us even
I was
come
like
from-
dogs, like
Yeah.
just rub it off, just
Yeah.
put some water, scrub it off, put some chalk dust. Why?
Some of us even come from girls' schools and colleges where even there we would be asked to sort of hide our stains, change into a different skirt, go home early,
Yeah,
and treated like pariahs in a way, if I can
and
say
you
that.
were treated like, oh my god, what a careless, what a unsmart girl she
True.
is. She's staining
True,
her dress
exactly.
every now
That's
and
also there.
See, everybody
Yeah.
has a different flow of periods, a different way of bleeding, different pains that they go through. And so what? This is a very normal process. It is normal, but it's not normal for everybody. You know, some
Absolutely.
people have a different kind of pain. I may not have gone through very severe pain, but she may have gone
Yeah.
through very severe pain.
Yeah.
So you should be understanding about the whole
Yeah,
thing,
yeah.
and at the same time we need to train our boys also, like, to be very sensitive towards it. It's
Yeah.
nothing to be making fun
Yeah.
of.
And her article deals with all these aspects.
And for
yeah.
school girls, other than getting those breaks from PT period, we don't get anything much.
Yeah.
We have to give our board exams also when we are bleeding.
Yeah. And I think that also brings us to the third article, which has been authored by our colleague Preetha Nair, who's not here with us today. And she talks about the different products which are available in the market. Which of course also deal with the environmental aspect of how we dispose the products that we use when we are menstruating. So like, there's been a huge debate about what kind of products like these pads are. They have so much plastic and chemicals. It can be harmful to our bodies.
And
they
those,
don't
please be
degenerate.
aware of those products which say that we can take you 5-6 hours in a day, or maybe half a day you can run with just one sanitary napkin.
Yeah.
Just be a little careful, because
Yeah.
everything has a side effect.
Absolutely. So, it's a very comprehensive article debating as to the pros and cons of each product. There are menstrual cups which have actually become a big thing now in India. It has been there abroad for a while in the US
And
the
tampons
UK.
also she's spoken.
Tampons, but tampons also have this toxic shock syndrome, which can happen if you forget to remove it
Forget to
after
take
8
it
hours
off.
or 10 hours or something. So these very important points, and also the whole environmental bit, because plastic pads don't degenerate, they're not biodegradable, and they will stay on earth for the next 1,000 years. So please pick up this issue. It's
Yeah,
a
it's a beautiful
very,
one.
very important and a very powerful issue. And to be ending our year on this note, I think we couldn't have asked for something more wonderful. So have a happy new year, and we're going to see you next year.